The second G-25 African Coffee Summit centered on the transformation of African coffee through value addition and expansion of trade by dealing with non-tariff barriers across the continent.
What if the value addition is done to other raw materials like copper, gold, iron ore, lithium, etc.? Money to Africa will mean higher purchasing power for Africa. The Africans who now lack electricity will be able to afford to pay for electricity. I propose to say that global affluence will benefit everybody. Down with imperialism, down with the parasitism, long live the win-win strategy.
President Yoweri Museveni identified modern slavery based on the export of raw materials, which deprives young people of employment and accelerates inequalities on the global market share.
Of these raw materials, that's why the economy of Africa is stunted. African economy is stunted. Therefore, we, the raw materials producers, need to conduct internal struggles in our respective countries to add value to these raw materials, including coffee, so that we earn more from our sweat and create more jobs for our youth instead of dying in the Mediterranean going to Europe. We also need to sensitize our partners in the countries that have been buying our raw materials at same slave prices. In the last 60 years, I have been involved in the struggle against this modern slavery.
African leaders have converged to strategize and unlock untapped potential in the global coffee sector.
Also encouraging investments in value addition and working to improve the market chain so that the producing farmers can have fair share of the benefit and be encouraged for production of more volume and better quality coffee.
Stakeholders in the sector recommend incentives towards coffee farmers and producers in Africa to adopt smart farming practices for quality output.
Initiatives include e-voucher fertilizer input subsidy program for coffee farmers, rollout of the coffee revitalization program, establishment of the Cherry Advanced Revolving Fund, coffee credit financing through the establishment of Commodities Fund to provide affordable finance credit for coffee farming and other agricultural produce, as well as review of the subsector's legislation.
Through leveraging on the African Continental Free Trade Area, intra-regional trade of coffee is expected to rise by establishing regional value chain framework.
To include coffee among the strategic agricultural commodities, this will enable the continent to identify, formulate and drive the implementation of policies and solutions for higher returns in the sector.
Reaffirming that the African Continent Free Trade Area, to which we are parties, creates a single African market that facilitates the 25 African coffee producers to trade freely with other African Union member countries.
The coffee-producing countries agreed in the Kampala Declaration to invite the African Union to include coffee as a strategic commodity in its 2063 agenda.
Recognizing that the 99% of African coffee is exported in raw form, resulting into the loss of economic benefits associated with value addition, thus depriving the continent of jobs and colossal sums of revenue earnings.
Despite Africa's significant contribution of 12% to the global coffee sector, consumption of local coffee remains low, and the largest portion of local consumers depend on the imported coffee. Abdul Nasser Lubwama for UBC.